half of your secondary guns firing at the target at the same time.
Cheap.
In
They're not
terms of
missing
armor,
much.
you do have
It's
a
the
pretty
Nevada.
thick
Everybody loves the
anti-torpedo belt
Nevada.
over here, consisting of road cemented armor, as well as underneath that you have a, I guess, a turtleback armor to protect the main area of the citadel itself. Some decent armor around the turret ammunition elevators as well, which should hopefully be able to deflect most
crane?
non-high
Quite a lot of them
caliber AP
have
shells,
cranes.
especially if you angle the
I
ship.
see.
And you have a bunch of ammunition. You may notice something interesting, by the way.
Yeah.
The X-ray has
love
some
me
kind of
battleships, love me big guns, love me big armor,
now,
love
so
me
you
long
can more easily
reload.
distinguish between your
Simple
propulsion components like the engine, where your ammunition is located, where your guns are located, and all that good stuff. All right. Next up, we have another ship, the premium USS Des Moines.
Yeah, Des Moines, it's pretty nice. I won't go over it too much, obviously, because there's a dev blog. You can see it yourself. Main thing, really, guns. You have the auto-loading guns. 10 rounds a minute for these. It's pretty hefty.
Sorry.
You love to see it. Again, really standard stuff. Great anti-air. Guns are pretty amazing.
This one's going to
really,
be
for the
very good.
current BR that it's at.
It's going to be
we'll go
annoying as
briefly
well
over
to fight
armor,
against
just so
this
if you want to screenshot it, have a look.
The
I won't
one's
talk
really
about
nice,
it too much.
So.
But yeah, as Mike said, there's now a sort of color coding for different internal modules. I think it's mostly just to better differentiate. Obviously, you know, if you're a newer player,
By the way, is the volume okay
it's
for
kind of
you
hard to
guys?
see exactly what's going
Or
on,
do you want it
especially in
higher or
ships when
lower?
there's this many things to look at. So it's just a way to see a little bit more detail and the difference between the different modules. I don't believe it's like this in game, so you'll still have the standard like gray coloration, but so that's a nice little feature that we have as well now. Also, I'll briefly show you while we're here. Big ship's got some new camos. I like camos; they're pretty cool. You get the
this what
standard
they're called
unicolor
again?
blue, which I think is the same for the earlier ships, like the smaller destroyers. Get this
The update,
very
what's it
nice
called
big one,
again?
which
Do
you
you
can.
remember?
What I like about the
Sky
ship camos actually
Guardians.
is that you can sort
Sky
of
Guardians.
make 3 different schemes out of them in one by making them really big and then kind of in the middle and then really small, which is kind of nice. And the final one here is the Pacific Fleet, which is pretty nice as well. It's the one you had on the Nevada. Very cool. Very cool. I like
The
it.
skins are nice.
They look very nice. All
I'm-
right.
I'm happy
Ships
they,
over for the
they
time
added them.
being. Next up, we have a helicopter making its way to
They
the
look
Americans, which we have seen before.
They look weird?
The Israelis
What?
had
Are
access
they?
to this before, the AH-6 Little Bird. The Americans are now getting a version as well, and this one has some different armament. Currently, what I have equipped is laser-guided rockets. So these work similar to the.
You know what
helicopter we
also had
saw
this?
in,
The Italian
Turkish helicopter
premium
we
they
saw in the
removed.
Italian
Because
factory
nobody fucking
not
bought
too
it.
long ago. These are a combination of essentially a
The
modified
Greek
HVAR
Apache also
with
has
a
them.
Yeah, the
laser-guided
Greek
system,
Apache
No,
too.
it's
which
just
allows you
these
to use
things, man.
them more or less like
Why would you?
ATGMs with much less penetration power, but with a lot
With
higher
all the
velocity, so you
capabilities of
can
an
deal
ATM.
with SPA quite effectively, hopefully before they are able to know where you are. The cockpit looks
You think
like
so?
this.
Say again?
Quite nice, quite open. Keep in mind, of course, the
Yeah.
AH-6 is
Nothing.
a very,
okay.
very light and very small helicopter. You have no side doors.
It still
The-
bothers me. There's
No, it wasn't a
doors.
Tegus patch, it was
It looks like it
A129.
followed,
I know. I
at
don't
every
like
moment,
it.
yeah.
It's sort of spooky. Not a fan.
The glass is not armored at all, so any kind of incoming fire will do a
The
lot
lighting
of
is
damage.
really
Although
bad
at the
to
same
look
time,
around
since the
Oxy.
helicopter is rather small,
You can see like the
it
whole
may
box
also
around him.
give you a bit more of an opportunity to try and evade enemy incoming fire. It's nice, it's small and nimble. Keep in mind, the engine power isn't the greatest, so if you do bring all of your loadout options, it may not be that maneuverable anymore. It does really get affected
don't
a lot
know.
by the weight of your ordnance.
So I don't really understand
But
how
that is
these
very
like
effective at taking out,
the
enemy
rockets
SPAA.
just
Now, of course,
they
it's not
don't
only these
like
rockets
once
that
they're
you have,
fired
these are
they
kind of
don't
useless against anything that has
like
armor,
alter
given their low
course, or
penetration.
how do
But
they
you do
work
also have access
when it comes to
the
the game?
Hellfire 2. This is a tandem warhead ATGM with a pretty
It works
long
like
range
ATM,
of
but
up to 8
without the
kilometers
full capability
effective.
on
You can
ATM.
carry up to
That's how I
4
understand
of
it.
them. Alternatively,
they don't
if you want to,
maneuver as
this
well,
does have a
I'm
custom
guessing?
loadout system, so you can bring
I
2
guess
of
so.
the Hellfires
Yes, but I think they
and
do
a
correct some course.
12.7, a 50 cal gun pod, a Gatling gun, which has a decent-ish amount of penetration. I
Pretty
can quickly
okay,
show you
yeah.
here.
Against light stuff, it's not bad, really.
Yeah, up to 49 millimeters of penetration at close ranges. It
You'll
should be
never
enough to
use
deal
it,
with
but
BMPs
it looks
and
cool, as we
SPA.
talked about.
Again, you do have to go very close in order to use these, so it's not exactly recommended. But you can also bring your regular
it's got 2
Hydras. You can
miniguns
bring
on
a
the little bird.
7.62 millimeter minigun, which is mostly useless against
If you
anything that
really
isn't
want to be
overclocked.
crazy, you can bring
But
2
the option
7.62s
is
and
there.
2
In
12.7s.
terms of the laser-guided rockets, you also have 2
Unless-
options. You
unless
have
there's
this
a
one,
weight
which is
issue.
kind of like an APHE. It's a semi-armor piercing.
Hey, Nocturnal,
It
nice to
penetrates
see you.
first and then it explodes, which gives you more penetration. With the pure HE version, you don't have the penetrating effect, so you have less penetration. And you do have higher explosive filler, but overall I would still recommend using the SAP version. Okay. Next up, we have the premium F4S Phantom. This is a new premium jet making its way to America. Currently sitting at batch rating 11.3. Keep in mind, this is the preview server. So
is this going to be a pack vehicle? I'm guessing so, right?
Are placeholder and subject to change. I just want you to keep this in mind. Yeah. This will come in at rank 7 and provide an 6E. Yes, it's a pretty good aircraft.
The last few updates have been kind of crazy.
That's this slow, that's technically just a attacker. Now
we have the Harrier, the 5, the 10, the Tuller, and now this guy.
The Tram Edition is just so weird.
Like as you can see.
I really feel like that one was like a last minute shit.
Yeah, like maybe they didn't want to add the F4S like at the same time as like the British F4 or something, but it just seems odd. Like it's so out of place compared to everything else.
Behind the R27ER
yeah, more so when you had like the A10 on that area. And the A10 is even better.
Radar missiles together with the AIM-9Hs, it doesn't allow you to. So you have the option of taking either the 6 radar missiles or your standard 4 radar missiles.
I mean, they've put top tier G vehicles for ground.
All aspects
so this
are guided IR missiles, and you do not have a
integrated that would make sense. You can that would make sense, but
gun pod, but this will
5 Sparrows, 2 Sidefighters.
So you have a weird options of how you can customize this plane to your own personal needs. You also have access to
it's so weird thinking about the fact that a few years ago we talked about, custom loadouts being added, different munitions, different radars, countermeasures, all these things, and it's all here now. It's so weird.
So keep that in mind if you're an
it's just crazy to think about.
This may not be the option for you. There are better options like the F5C for learning, but this will give a nice premium bonus for people who are looking into getting the F16,
learning,
the F14, and anything beyond that.
You'll love to see it.
I do.
That's
what do we have next?
That's what premium guys want to learn.
Look at this little man's. So 2 of these, we'll show you one later.
It's
this
your
is
boy.
the 222. Pretty familiar. A couple of things you're
Such
probably
a beautiful
really familiar
little
with.
squeaky one.
The squeeze mans at the top here. Little squeeze mans, very similar hull to that thing. Armor, basically, you've got nothing. That's like machine guns can pretty much get through that. Heavy machine guns, especially. But firepower is really nice, and that tied with the mobility is actually pretty great.
I'm happy with this.
20mm. It's the later one that's found.
Love the 222.
So it fires quite fast. Although reload is still pretty strong out with those autocannons, so it's not.
I like how they have a cut in the armor for the optics. I never noticed that.
I always don't know if I really prefer the faster firing 20 or the slower firing 20 because you chew through ammo really, really quickly.
You do. You have to pay a lot of attention and try to have fire manually.
Yeah. So pretty nice. Really,
modules
really
are now colored in the
nice analog to the Aufklärungspanzer. This one here.
Thank you for the subscription, Pyman. Thank you for continuing to support the channel.
I always like it when
very much appreciated.
Changes
Thank you very much.
At the early stages because they don't really get that much overall nowadays. So it's nice to see. Really good stuff. Very nice model as well. Another one you love to see.
Can't wait to see it in Enlisted, beating the shit out of fucking infantry.
Chinese one. Actually, the Chinese one is like fairly different in like quite a functional way, which is really nice. Like I thought they were basically going to be functional.
Come on.
So that's going to be nice. We'll see that in a bit, a little bit later.
What's the difference?
In terms of jet
it has lower rate of fire, and according to a deblock, it doesn't have like the high penetrating round.
Nice.
Well, you will be glad to hear that the Germans are now getting
it's just worse. Like I don't know why this guy is trying to do this. Oh, that's so different. Or no, this is a different one.
Thank you for the Prime subscription, Lucas. That's very kind of you.
Russian version we
Classic
have in the
MiG
game as it
29
currently stands.
gaming.
Including the same armament options and of course access to the HMD, which allows you to off-axis
exactly
lock
the same
and launch missiles at enemy targets in quite
Took them a whole update to make a camouflage.
You can almost go 90 degrees to the side over here. You can also see we
have
a new effect for the maximum.
It's the only way that the German air force
over here.
I know.
MiG-23.
It's a little bit cleaner now, a little bit less, I guess, PowerPoint presentation.
MiG-23, 21, Starfighter, Phantom,
of course,
MiG-19,
will still obfuscate your vision quite a bit once you're in the transitionary period.
So it always surprises me, man, when people say like, why does the Krauts don't get this? Like, you're gonna get it next update, man. Did you start the play next, like last week or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. MiG-29 too fast. And this is an interesting looking map.
I like this a lot. Something that I think is always something to sort of interrupt.
Oh, it's the Pyrenees.
Something I always thought was lacking a little bit, especially in ARB maps, is that the terrain is kind of redundant. It never really does anything.
That's what you say.
But
Like
this map
Pyrenees.
is full of
I was carrying fire on
terrain. You've got lots of valleys.
Well,
lots
I've
of,
always heard of Pyrenees.
places where you can actually use it, and especially as radar in top tier is very, very prevalent.
Have you been to Andorra,
being able to
the
play and
Principality of
use the
Andorra?
map in like a meaningful way against that, I think is really nice. So I'll see how it works, and maybe it'll slow things down, maybe it'll make it more.
I want to go to Switzerland
interesting
one day. I haven't been to
I have no
Switzerland.
idea. But the fact that it's now like an option that you can play on is really nice. I've wanted to see something
So this
like
is
for a while.
just...
This
better not be in
map.
mid-tier. That's all I'm saying. It's another map. They've just extended the...
a cut-on version present in Air Arcade. So this is the ARB
yeah,
map, so I'm really hoping this will
they've
be
just
actually a full
massively
ARB map,
increased the area again
and
with
it has
airfield.
lots
So
of valleys,
hopefully
lots of buildings. I've seen some
this is
castles,
only for
lots of
high
villages
echelons.
all over the map. There's also an
Hopefully.
interesting tunnel run over here. This street reminds me a lot of that one mission in another plane game, where you have to go
Rocky Canyon was a lot
inside a
present,
valley
man.
to not be detected by enemies. And that is something that you can also technically do. These streets extend all the way from the bottom of the map to the top. So if you really want to stay,
I don't want
stealthy,
another,
for lack of a
what is
better
it,
word,
Rocky Canyon
you
experience?
can attempt to try your luck with these valleys
37 players
and
with
hopefully
Thomas
not
Smith.
crash. Keep in mind, walls are hard. I don't think I need to really explain that to anyone.
He's right. He's right.
You will, of course, have a better overview of this map on the upcoming dev server.
I mean, terrain's really cool,
we are at least planning
unless
to
they
open
come
one
from
later
above you.
today. If all goes well,
Then you
if
just
no technical
die.
issues appear.
So-
So if you want to take part in that, make sure you download the dev server and be
Terrain
ready
is
for
always
when it
good
opens. All right, next
compared to
up,
no terrain.
let me see if this works, actually. Not quite. If you don't mind, I'm just quickly going to go back to the F4.
Unfortunate,
because we also have
supreme
something that
German
has been wanting
engineering.
For quite a while. I have
No
seen that
ejection
chat
seats.
A lot.
Peace.
We now have animations for ejection seats. Yes.
Very nice.
What is that
Sort of
picture
makes
in the
sense it's
background?
coming
That's
now
cool.
after so long, but nice to have.
Currently,
I think it would be
there are
better
only
if
fully
the
modeled in two
Firefly
aircraft,
was
the
actually
A10 and
shooting
that
the
Premium F4 that I just shown a second ago.
thing instead of past it.
So let's quickly go into test flight, and I can show you how it looks from the ground. The ejection seat does actually work whilst on the ground, and of course in third person as well. Also, the time that it takes to J out has been reduced to more or less mimic the time that it would take the pilot to actually grab the ejection handle. So you now see it's no longer 3 seconds, but only 1 second. And we have a nice animation of the canopy ejecting as well as the 2 crew members in this jet.
Okay, duplicated.
It's really nice.
Oh, because there's 2 guys on this one. Huh?
Also,
Yeah.
if you do this in test drive.
So this is why
just
we
do
now
close
need
around.
the.
So you can just have an infinite.
We need the big
like
old,
to see
the
that.
big
That
old
should be an
boys.
experience.
I want to
That's
see
what I
all
like
of
to see
them
on
come
this
out
game.
with the. I want all
Alright,
ejection
next
seats
up we have
on the. I'm
a
sure like
tank for
the.
Germans.
Was it
Yep.
the
Something that
B
people
whatever
really want.
for America? I'm
This is
sure
the
they all had
C-72
ejection
M1. It's the
seats.
same as the one in the Swedish tree. It's
want all
another
of them.
M1 version.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really too dissimilar to
Yeah.
the other versions that we have, but it's
Just-
on German tree. It's after the KPZ right now.
Get them all out.
Currently
End of the line.
It's kind of nice. Like, a lot of the German vehicles around this battle
How
rating
can
don't
you put
have-
this-
well, they play
God
very
damn
differently
it.
to the T-72.
After the
At least in terms of
M57.
advantage. So it's kind of nice. This is finally it. It really bolsters the lineup a lot. Like they're
What a
really
pain.
strong
Take
around this
this one over
build.
the
There's so many
M57, I
options.
can tell you.
It's nice to see.
Would you? I like the
More versions of this in the
KPZ.
game.
That
Currently
really
doesn't
looks
have the
pretty
round
sweet.
pull. I guess it probably
And
will.
Well, the
at some
German
point.
one is good because
It's
it has
really
the
nice
6
seeing
seconds.
this.
I'll
Like,
give you
yeah,
that much.
come on,
Ah, no, man.
It does
I
look
really like
nice,
that.
yeah, it's a different look, something you're not used to.
Yeah, I like it.
It's definitely
yeah,
a
overall,
question,
not
right?
really too
It's a
much
question
different
which
in
one
terms
you
of the
take.
vehicle. You're already familiar
I
with
think
it.
of
No,
it
the
different
good thing
things.
about
German
this
tree.
fucking tree
Very
is
cool,
you can
very
play
cool.
both of
There
them
you
on
go.
the
You
same
can play
line.
everything.
Now making your way into
Yeah.
Warfare. Alright, next
You can
up
also
we
take the other
have
busted
Russians
machines around
with
this
a
area,
new
like the Puma and the Velagite
top-tier
Panzer.
Yeah,
jet.
true.
For some
And
reason,
this
are
one's also
still
one
at
that you have
9-3.
been waiting for a long time.
What a dumb situation, man.
Yak 141. If you're unfamiliar with the Yak 141,
Who is
this was
Krasnoludski's
developed
I-15
late,
bit?
just before the fall of the Soviet Union and partly cancelled.
Who's that guy?
Krasnoludski's I-15 bits.
Was Zukovsky's I-153 not good enough?
This is a dedicated fighter.
Why have we-
You can
why have we
bring
not got
bodies, but
somebody
there's no guided aircraft missiles or guided munitions of any
What
kind.
did this
Other
Thomas
than
do?
missiles
Has
for
it got
air
skis
combat.
or something?
This can bring the R-27ER, the best missile currently available.
Of course
to
it gets
the
fucking
MiG-29,
firebombed.
But instead of only 2, it can bring a total of 4 of them. Of course, if you want to, you can also bring out some R60Ms or the R2070, the IR version.
I'll take the 16,
unlike
the
any
16-100
we
kilo.
have in the game currently, this is also supersonic.
Yeah. Kind of nuts.
Now, I have to warn the audience ahead of time. The view of this aircraft from behind may be a little bit disturbing to some viewers.
It's sort of like, I kind of know what you mean. There's something about it that I don't quite like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it.
It looks like something bit into it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oxy is right.
I don't know.
It's weird.
No, I'm not a fan.
It's awkward and odd.
As you can see, the rear nozzle goes down. You also have the little hatch opening in the front, so it's kind of the same system as the Yak 38.
For me, it's the tail.
In fact, this is just after the Yak 38 in the tech tree. Although
I just want to put like a big metal pole between the two like things on the edge of like where the rudders are and the elevators.
At any speeds is only at lower
like
speeds,
it looks
so
like it should just have a pole there.
Your, let's say, you can't tighten
I
up
will
your
move the engine a bit back.
But
it's not to have like that giant space in.
And the plane is deceptively maneuverable as well.
I found that as well. Like I was expecting it to be another kind of like brick, but it's not. It's deceptively agile for what it is.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Too speedy, too quick. Too speedy, too quick.
What are you saying?
It's quite different to the Yak 38.
Well, they said that it was maneuverable, right? That's worrying.
You know it's a brick.
Yeah, that's why you were mentioning that.
Refuses to turn. This thing is
love me bullshit prototype.
It's just throwing me off, man. Like, I can't.
They were very good. They were so good that in your character service.
Just ran out of money. That was the problem.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I will constantly say this over and over and over again.
Now,
if you create something that is a world beater, money is not the problem, ever.
Oh, it's actually a bit better now. In testing earlier, it was a bit more limited in MiG-29.
Maybe,
so you can use the HMD together with
it wasn't a world beater.
To be quite effective in air-to-air combat. You also have large caliber flares. 60 in total, which fire from those top 50.
We're gonna see it worse on there now.
A VTOL that goes supersonic
Take over
as
the
well.
game.
Now, it is not the most fastest aircraft out there. It does go supersonic, but barely.
Still gonna get outmaneuvered by F-16.
So
after
this,
it's gonna be whoever engages first, as usual at high
You may be susceptible to enemy radar missiles if you decide to do that. But in overall maneuverability, this thing is deceptively good. And with the powerful engine, I do expect it to be very good in dogfights and being able to maintain its energy up.
Yeah, because that's what we see at high tiers, a lot of dogfights.
Something that you should keep an eye out for.
Not just fire.
It is not completely finished just yet. We are still testing the cockpit, but as you can see, we are working on it for the Yak 141.
Very cool.
Turns better than the F-16. Doubt.
Oh.
I like it. I love this.
It's so weird.
I love stuff like this.
If it gets to a point where it turns better, like it engages VTOL and shit, and the F-16 is actually, you know,
pretty interesting.
Using its afterburner properly,
a
it'll annihilate
AA at 6.0. That's like a dream that I've been wanting for like 5 years. Something like this to be added. So it's really nice. Armor, not really. Nothing going on there in the Department of Armor. But this thing is really nice. You got two 30s. And with the armor penetration and 91, that's kind of really good.
It's actually not bad, especially at the special race.
Yeah, that is
so we
really
can do
good.
this a bit of a test, mostly against tanks. We can show the penetration.
It's the chassis that's going to hold them
standard, you know,
it's like the boss
from
pack.
a platform like this.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's a decently mobile vehicle, and
it's really low to the ground.
Really nice in terms of the armor penetration. What you'll notice is that if you fire from the side, the accuracy is a little bit, you know, all over the place.
It's a bit wobbly,
with the recoil of these guns and just like how light the platform is, it's kind of standard. But, same with a lot of things like this. If you fire it from the back, for example,
some of these guns, even if they're not stabilized, they tend to maintain themselves pretty.
So you've got options, and
because of fire.
It's a really nice vehicle. It's something to have. It's pretty deadly in the mid late World War II era for Russia. They didn't really have anything.
It's a bit of a problem.
So it's honestly really
Oxy is
nice
the one
to
using
this.
window capture.
It's universally capable anti-air.
Because you can't.
It's got its flaws.
Technically,
very,
both people can't use game capture at the same time. So it's like clipping the screen. It looks really weird.
That gun just looks comically large.
Most people don't like see that stuff, so it's fine, but it's really annoying.
Quite vulnerable because that gun position does have its head.
I can't really notice the difference if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, it's just like mini freezers, basically.
Other than that, you also have the massive magazine.
When you move the camera a lot, it does like mini freezers.
Absolutely, but really nice vehicle, really cool thing to have. It's going to add a lot to the lineups, and yeah.
Oh, did you mention what country this is from, by the way?
Yep, Czech. It's a Czech vehicle.
Czech vehicle.
It's from the USSR.
All right. Can we move on to the next SPA?
Czechoslovakia.
Yes. I allow it.
Not
It's not the only SPA that the USSR is getting in this update. We
Actually,
also
it's from the
have
state of
what
Czechoslovakia.
is very likely the new best SPA in the game, the Panzer S1. Now, in the last update, we introduced the Tor M1 to the Chinese tech tree. And now we're introducing a even better SPA to the Soviet tech tree. The Panzer S1 has access to both missiles, very long-range missiles.
That's why it's going to be a million times better than the Tor. What are you talking about?
Kilometers, so there's going to be very
20 kilometer
range.
The problem,
nothing really that can outrange these missiles.
The problem that the Tor has is that it's exclusively for long range, and the missiles don't really pull that many Gs. They're not binaural missiles.
Of course, you're not really going to be doing much against MBTs. Technically, from the sides, you can try and disable the gun barrels.
Are you sure? You fucking goor.
It's a whole lot more versatile than the Tor M1. With only the missiles, you can't really do much against tanks at close ranges. This one can actually defend itself. It can defend itself against close-range helicopters.
Yeah, if you've ever faced for like a Tunguska, like in a tank, and you miss a shot, it is very annoying. We're going to take
a quick test drive because much like the Tor M1, this vehicle does
throw random crap at you, knock out your barrel, knock out your tracks,
multiple munitions,
do all that wonderful stuff
at the same time. Which I hope is going to work. Keep in mind that these close ranges is always a bit weird, so let's hope this works.
It's not a fan of very close ranges.
It is not. It is not. Okay, so as you can see, we can switch between the targets. I'm going to fire at this further one first. Then I'm going to switch and fire the second one. The first missile hit the first target, and the second missile hit the second target.
It's like the first time, like, radar...
Yeah, hasn't that... Now they separated to
the Renaissance.
To be included in the UI.
To be included in the UI. I've already seen this capability before on the Tor M1, but with the added ability of using those 30mm guns for close-range operations.
If I'm honest with you, I never really understood that one. Like the different mode for the Tor, the exclusive mode that it has.
Well, basically, one missile will follow the radar lock, and then the other one will be optically tracked.
With only 60mm of penetration,
so that's basically how it works. So you can fire two missiles.
Yeah, that one
is also rather large, so you're not going to have any.
That one I remember. But I remember that this guy has also like another mode that they explained one time.
But for IFVs, against aircraft, against lightly armored vehicles like scout tanks, this is going to be an incredible, powerful tool.
It's really nice.
For a nation that is already incredibly powerful.
I don't know about you. Oh, this is like a thing that only exists in my head. There's so many video games where vehicles like this are in the background and you can never interact with them. They're just kind of set dressing. So actually, like, being able to drive it is like weirdly pleasing to my brain.
Really nice.
Like, I don't know if that's like a weird thing to say, but I like it. I love stuff like this. It's actually pretty cool.
It also helps that it looks a lot like a modern truck. I can see this on a highway somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of hefty.
It's really nice.
I fucking hope not.
I like it.
All right.
If I see this rolling down my street in bloody Canada, Jesus, or Germany or somewhere like that, we've got real problems.
Little biplane jet. That's the worst thing I could have said in that sentence. It's a new little biplane premium.
Hey, it's your boy.
To go for.
The PV1.
Basically, from what I understand, this is added because Zukovsky's Chaika, which was the previous starter vehicle, is now like a little bit too high in battle rating at 2.3. So to fall in line with the rest of the very early like starter beginner premiums, this has been added to take its place. So that version is still going to stay in the game. The Chaika is still going to be in the game as normal. I think the price is
for the starter pack,
a couple of 100G or so.
They said, hey, we're giving you
a replacement for the
we're giving you a too high VR because we're going to be giving you this deal.
Nice. There's a couple of
if you want Zukovsky's, this would be the time to buy the starter pack.
Windshield
Exclamation mark partner.
This has the telescopic sight, this one doesn't. But in terms of it being like a starter vehicle, it's really nice. Like the Russian biplane is actually great.
Yeah, the Russian biplanes are really good.
The rockets, which are actually very nice if you aim them on the wing. Bombs, not so much.
Thank you for the Prime subscription, Shifty. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. Thank you for the subscription, Marine.
Not going to be the most interesting to everyone out there, but it's pretty nice. I like this kind of thing. Nice to see the model's great as well, so...
It's very crisp, I like that.
Yeah, very crisp, very crisp. So
we may have some interesting new model updates later on as well.
I'm so hyped for that. I've been waiting like 11 years.
Yeah,
well,
very crisp.
We shall.
One last thing, guys.
11 years?
Wake up, it's boats. We have the, let me see the name, MPK Project 204. I only want to show this because of one interesting thing. It only has one gun turret, which is in the middle of the ship.
What the fuck is that?
well, suboptimal.
Those 57.
But what it does also have is 2 big rocket launching arrays in the front. These are rocket mortars that can go up to around 3 kilometers, just under 3 kilometers range.
Oh, it's the ones from the EVGA.
Show the effect of when you
just grind the SKR7.
Are they?
In the distance.
It looks like it looks similar to those ones.
So I tested so far, and of course they're all going over. Yay! Hey, see, we hit.
We got one.
Okay.
To wait for the lock
Trust
on.
me by my word on this.
They are good. Yeah.
Missiles, these rockets are very, very good. If you hit a small PT boat, they're going to die in 1 shot. If you hit a destroyer enough in the ammo rack, they're also going to die.
The back gun as well is really nice. Like you've got the HE
It has an
APHE, so the
APHE.
APHE works decently well against destroyers, like the light stuff that you'll see.
What's the reload?
It's really nice. I think
fast.
this is the same array that's on the Project 206.
So this is going to be another coastal boat that annihilates all coastal
really
boats,
nice.
but
It's a
can't
great
do
array.
jack against blue
yeah,
water.
rockets are pretty good. I don't know if they come stock actually.
They do not come stocked. You do have to research the rockets. You also
And all of them are on the same area, so you have to be pretty selective with
this. Some of the smallest torpedoes I've seen so far in naval mode. All right, let's move on to the UK.
This is my favorite vehicle ever. Well, not really. It's one of my favorites. This is the Churchill NA-75. Churchill Mark IV. Armor-wise, it's basically
So with
the
the
same
best
as the Mark
machine
III,
gun,
nothing
let's
to,
go. Good
press
old
there, but
Bessie.
It's the gun. It's the gun. This has the short
It's
75
definitely a
of
gun.
the Sherman, which is really nice because it means it's a Churchill with APHE.
Yes, this one has the good gun,
Amazing.
man.
I love the Churchill. It's a really nice vehicle.
Does it have the stabilizer
Not the best
as well,
overall,
though?
but I think
That's the
I'm
best.
just kind of biased towards square things.
Ooh.
I really like it. Shame it doesn't
Yeah,
have a
you never know with
stabilizer.
the British.
Doesn't
Maybe
have
they can screw
the
that
gyro
one up.
stabilizer array, unfortunately. But even so, having this kind of a vehicle in the British tree
No,
with a
fuck.
really quick reload, obviously there's on an ace crew, 5 seconds. But the 75 with APHE on the Churchill platform is pretty good.
4-3.
The armor of the mantlet doesn't change too
that's
much.
fine.
It's basically the same as the Sherman. It's like a little Sherman block.
Yep,
on
they've
top of
added the
standard,
Whitney
Mark IV
as well for
Mark
some
IV-ism
reason.
there. Apart from that, very similar to the Churchill Mark III.
And the Lancasters there
But
too.
this is probably the vehicle I was looking forward to the most.
Is it
I just
time
really
for the
like
Grand Slam?
vehicles like this. APHE on a Churchill. This makes me happy.
Updated
Makes my brain
more.
happy.
It looks very cartoony as well.
It does, yeah.
Around the turret is just...
It's just sweet.
When I think of Churchill, I think of a bread box, not this.
Yeah, it's kind of like a modern remake of a classic
think
cartoon
it's
where they make
camo.
it sort of
It
softer.
looks good
It's
there.
like that, and I like it.
Oh.
I'm all
Yeah,
for
the
this.
camo's a bit weird.
Very good. Yeah, probably my favorite vehicle.
It
Love
looks
to see it.
pixelated.
Hope you like it too, and it's live and the update is playable. Gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
fun.
this will be good. This will be one of the first ones to grind
Of
out.
course, coming to Britain, the Brits are also getting a
Now you
new
can form a
top
British force
tier,
with the concept.
the top tier tank. Also,
But somewhat.
I forgot to put
Yeah,
the plane.
yeah, because that's a 4-3, and then I think the Isterbark is as well,
This
right?
is the Challenger 2E.
Yeah, the
You have already seen
Isterbark,
the devlog on this. It
and
went up a
I think
few
that's
days ago. This is where it sits in the tech tree, just after the
Shit.
Challenger 2 Black Knight. It's at the same batch rating currently, and it has some trade-offs.
That line looks so
Black Knight has.
Do you want to play the Challenger 2, the Challenger 2, the Challenger 2, or the Challenger 2, or the Challenger
But
2?
you do gain 2 interesting things. One,
With 3 of
Any
them
that is not the
basically being
best.
the same.
500 horsepower diesel engine, more in line with
Any
the
that is not the
typical
big
other
fatty.
nations'
The
MBTs,
chunky
which
monkey.
does give it a little bit more mobility. It's still not going to be very fast. Because
You
it
want
is still
a
very
you
heavy
want
tank,
a
but it's
Challenger
going to be
with
much more
what is
mobile
classed
than the
as a
previous Challengers
modernized
that
or
you're used
modern
to.
engine.
And it also
Enjoy
gets a
getting
50
through
caliber
4
machine
other
gun at
Challengers
the
which
top, you can
fucking
use
don't.
as STAA and lightly armored vehicles. I'm going to
Goddamn.
quickly give it a test drive so you can
Have
see
some
the
goddamn
mobility.
face.
Mine is not going to be anything world-shattering, really. Don't expect the Challenger 2s all of a sudden to be the fastest tanks in the game.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the
Not.
Arjun.
This is still a 62-ton
One
tank.
day.
But it should overall be a bit more mobile, both in
Yeah,
acceleration
that's true,
Wait,
Carson.
and
The speed's
in
pretty.
overall
The speed of the
maneuverability
Churchill means
of
that
the
you
hull
probably
when
won't
you
get
are
up
trying
to
to go side to
a
side.
speed that the
This is quickly a
stabilizers
top speed run. This is
needed.
supposed to have a top speed of 72 kilometers per hour now, which is actually pretty speedy for a tracked MBT. It can hang in there with even some wheeled vehicles, let's be honest here. But
Yeah.
overall, it's still going to be...
It's going to take a while to accelerate, but it's still like pretty nice. It looks smoother as well. I like that.
Yeah, it's quite stable.
Another classic
Even
X4
through the
vehicle.
moving.
And same reload rate as the
Yeah,
Black Knight.
Jedi are usually better than the ones that they use. Even though nobody buys them.
For the commander and I believe the driver as well. Let's quickly take a look at the
It's
reverse
a-
speed as well.
Even though
which
with this one,
is-
you're gonna
well,
move more
it's very
coastally
much
around the
not,
field. You're still
not
gonna be on the slow lane
That
compared
is
to the other
34
guys.
kilometers per
Yeah,
hour.
you're
It's still
right.
like 80 tons or
Reverse, which
whatever.
is very, very,
It's still
very respectable
chunky, but
and
yeah,
should
you're
help you in
basically
getting
just
out
better
of heavy
mobility, but
situations.
still not as
It's pretty
good.
nice.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, we also
But
have
that's
a
alright.
model update for some planes.
Let's
Like
do
if you draw
these ones
parallels
first.
like that,
The bow fighters.
the
have
other
got
ones
a
are
model
always
update.
gonna be
These
better.
were some of the crustiest models, like back from like the Wings of Prey days. So yeah, these are one updated. Skins updated. This one now has a little boop on the suit, which is quite nice.
Like 12 years
And also,
old.
they have some armament.
How about the
increases
mosquitoes?
as well.
They're still not upgraded.
Loadout increases
or
rather.
updated.
These can now take
One
bombs
day,
as well.
my Mozzie
These
boys
ones are in the
will
center,
be
two
in
the center,
a
two on
good
the wing.
place, you know.
Same with the.
Oh, what was it? Like there was a.
These are now in the middle.
The ones that we have are like
nice.
the interceptor mosquitoes, not the cast one. He's the one that you mentioned all the time.
Early cast with
How
the
was
OP,
it?
like some really good penetration.
Well,
So
like
the bow
high
fighters
altitude.
are
The ones in the British.
They're coming back.
Well,
Yes,
the-
in the British tree
two
we have
we
the
have,
cast ones or
got-
the aircraft.
Yeah, we got the fighter bomber one and then the
They also all
anti-submarine
have
one.
detailed cockpits, so they are just basically
That's
repurposed from
So,
Mark 21.
yeah, the
so
ones I want
they're
are
not,
the
you know,
actual
most
bomber variant with the
universally accurate,
larger
but it's better to have
loadout,
it rather than not to
or
have
the
it.
larger
It's pretty
Bombay,
nice.
and then the
We do
high
also
altitude
have
interceptor.
something a bit more interesting, which are the Lancasters. Also,
Ooh.
was a model update.
Ooh,
Very nice model update. These again,
there you
quite crusty.
go. That looks nice.
Now they look pretty amazing. Hopefully, we can
That
see
bow
some
fighter
stats
getting
as well,
two
but that'll be
independent
nice.
1000 drops, though, that's actually pretty good.
But
Oh, that's something
what
more
do they
special.
have?
Oh,
Lancasters
here we go.
are now,
Come on.
you know, they used to be like kind of like an Andy vehicle.
12,000 pound HC Mark 1. What's up?
But now they've got something.
It's a
Hey.
chokey. Oh boy.
This boy.
Let's go.
Jesus.
That's a hefty boy.
That's a long boy.
Let's go.
I believe that is the new biggest bomb in the game.
I believe it may be this. Absolutely. There's an 8,000 as well, but you know, who cares about that?
Coming
now,
to
we're
a
looking at this.
battlefield
We're looking at this.
near you.
Absolutely huge. I'm gonna give it a little test flight. Hopefully I can take off.
Big
It's
boy.
sometimes a struggle with this thing,
Goddamn.
with this bomb.
It is quite heavy.
So
I'm
which
about
one is
6
this?
tons
Is this
worth
one
of
its
bomb
own
right there.
thing, or
That's
is this one like the
very
Grand
big bomb.
Slam
The
or
model as well
the
looks
Cookie or
This is
whatever?
the
good.
tall boy.
I love these updated old models. They look
It's
amazing.
old boy, that's
yeah,
fine.
Just
one of
finding
the
this for
earthquake
first time, I
bombs.
was very surprised to see that the bomb actually fits inside of the bomb bay.
I thought it was going to be open like
This
the
was
P8 as well.
not exactly
Kinda surprising,
designed
yeah,
to
you can see
fell
the takeoff run
vehicles.
is
It was designed to fell
very,
towns.
very long
so.
right now. But hopefully we can show you
Idea
really
of
the impact of
landing
the bomb. Actually, I live on
and
this
then
map. I
hitting
could
the
bomb my
ground,
house.
waiting a few seconds,
I could bomb
so
my
it
house. I
basically
won't.
penetrated the
I think
ground
that's a
and
more
then
interesting target.
blew
Since
up.
these bombs
That's
are
how
so
the
powerful,
modern
let's
ones
see
work.
if it can one-shot the most powerful
So,
target
yeah.
on this map.
I like what you're thinking,
man.
Mike. Why don't I try that?
Also,
Look at
yeah,
that.
also
Look at that.
used to fuck up
It's so big.
Tirpitzes.
I really like the design. It's like fruit.
Because sitting
Yeah.
stationary in a
It's
valley
sort of,
is
yeah,
always a good
it's
idea.
sort of
Look at the
looks like
size
that.
of that
just
thing.
kind of put them together.
Ooh.
I like it.
Fucking hell, man.
I don't actually know the name
There
of
we
this one.
go.
It's not the tall boy. It's a sort of
No.
just the same weight, basically.
Was it cookie?
Wow.
This
Okay.
is British bomb nomenclature.
Oh, so it's just a,
So it's just a
really
big fuck
similar
off
one?
bomb then.
I like that.
It's the same size
very
as
nice.
the tall boy,
We'll show
just
you in a
not a
second.
tall boy.
Man, why didn't they call? I was thinking about this earlier.
Well, I just,
If they called the tall boy the long boy, I think.
I'd
would have
rather
much more
call it the
longevity.
tall boy than the,
Because it would
than
make
the
people think of those long dogs. It's always
HC1
good.
Mark 1
I'm
or
a big fan.
I
whatever.
know, that's boring, right? It's like the fucking
Anyway, that's,
Buccaneer like
more
bombs.
filler
They all have
to
just
put
like
into
boring
what we're saying
names.
before we actually get to the
I mean,
target.
it's
This is
fine.
very
No one
simple.
is expecting the Lancaster to get anywhere quick.
It's like very slow with this bomb, especially after a takeoff. Obviously,
It's
you're playing
3
it in, like,
cookies
ground
strapped
lobby.
together. Well, there you go.
You're going to be having an air
Always
spawn,
nice.
so it's not too
Okay,
difficult. But
so-
this is a very, very, very big bomb.
Fun fact, if you are an arcade player, the bomb actually reloads fairly quickly because it is a heavy bomber class, so it could do some pretty heavy damage, especially given the massive blast radius of this munition.
Or little carrier.
It's gonna blow up the carrier.
Those carriers are really tough to crack.
Yeah, like I remember back when the Pacific maps were more prevalent, like trying to knock these out with like B-17s or like the Mitchell was really, really hard. But let's see.
Can we follow
we
the
go.
bomb?
We can follow the bomb.
Now, one thing in mind, you can see it has a lot of drag.
God damn.
That's one-shotting a carrier. And you can also see at the bottom right, it shows you what destroyed the unit as well. Which is a nice little
1200.
change. Additionally,
Just
yeah,
1200.
this bomb is kind of nuts. Biggest bomb.
1200.
It's going to be interesting seeing the first Thunder Show clips of that thing landing on an L3.
Yeah, like the Lancaster has gone from like kind of sad to huge. I like
It's
that.
still sad.
Lancaster's
but,
very
you
good.
know, it's slightly
Alright,
less
all you
sad.
Lancaster fans, you can look forward to big booms.
Welcome
in
to the new
next
P8.
update.
Absolutely.
For other UK aviation fans, we now also have finally a fighter version of the Tornado.
Nice.
This is going to
A new one
occupy,
enters,
well,
because I got the
top rank
P8,
of
that German
Britain
one,
right
and now the
after
British.
the Lightning, and will be together with the Harry GR7, some of your best dedicated fighter. Well, the Harry
I'm gonna
GR7
drop this bomb on a cap, kill
some of the best
4 enemies and 2 allies, get kicked, type I'm a god.
Is still going to be a bit of a brick. It's not going to
you
very
equal
well,
trash,
like
me equal god.
But it brings a lot of aircraft ordnance to the table. Not only can you bring the A9L and 4 of them, all S-bit missiles, very good.
At least the lighting is no longer end of the line, eh?
Yeah, might be better to grind out now. Instead of 47,000 RP cost mod.
The sky flashes you already are familiar.
I don't think it's gonna be better, it's gonna be acceptable.
Which will extend range massively. This is one of the few top tier jets that can basically just fly an afterburner all match long with no worries. Let's give it just a very quick test flight so I can show you how it performs.
Looks cool.
Of course, it will still be a brick. It doesn't turn at all. It does not get HMD, so that may be one issue that I foresee
still a
with
brick.
people trying to get their nose onto a target to actually get a lock for their missiles. But on that, it is a beautiful,
Love me Europe
beautiful aircraft.
engineering.
We're going to check where the
Love me
flares
use
are
of
coming out
American
from
weapons.
in a second. And as well
Love the
show
fact
you
that we
radar
got
missiles. First thing I'm actually going to do is drop these drop tanks because they are, well, you
It
can
has
see
the
this
swing
aircraft is
wings.
very heavy. It's taken a while to take off.
Some heft, yep.
Let's drop number 1. Let's drop number 2. Should make me a little bit more maneuverable now. Switch over to the sky flashes.
Imagine getting outmaneuvered by a
radar,
Yak
which should
141.
be useful in low ground operations as well.
They're bulky.
As you can see, no HDN, and the pulse Doppler is having some issues with tracking the MiG-15 right now because of the closing speed. Let's see if we can get a better lock here.
Nice.
This is my dad's friend Marky's favorite plane. Shout out to you, Marky, at the pub. You love to see it. He's not
Shout
watching.
out to Marky.
Alright, sky flash has locked.
Marky.
Shout out to Marky.
The sky flashes are not quite as maneuverable as
Big shout out.
the AIM-7S.
No, we don't know. Super nice.
Four radar missiles. Marked kind of like on the Phantoms. They are
Give me another
invested into the
Budweiser.
chassis
Love
of
me
the airplane
tornado.
itself.
That looks so much nicer.
It does. It also
Give me
looks
another
very much sleeker.
It does, yeah.
That together with the RR missiles means you have 8
I need to go
very
back to
potent
home with my
missiles
wife
for a
Susan.
potential
She's
output
lovely.
of 8 kills. Of course, the plane is very fast, but it's still a tornado.
I always imagine like old British people like that. And like that fucking behavior.
Out the back as well. Very nice. Alright, next up we have...
Yeah, the supersonic thing's pretty cool.
I
like the
another
cone.
jet. A bit of a controversial one, perhaps.
Sort of, yeah. So, this is
Controversial.
the Japanese F-16AJ. And it is a little bit, sort of on the surface, a little bit controversial because, in essence, this vehicle wasn't exactly... Well, I hasten to say it doesn't exist, because obviously it does, but not really in this configuration. The F-16 was a proposal to Japan at the time, which they refused.
It's the same as the
and obviously
M47.
The F2 eventually, obviously the F-15 later down the line.
Exactly same idea.
But obviously those vehicles are not really
No one really gave a
able to be
fuck
added
about
into the
the
game right
appears.
now.
Yeah,
Probably
if people wanted to fight
fair
against
while.
this, like
So,
I brought it up like
lot
a
of people, I
year
think,
and a half
I don't
ago,
know, say a
that
lot
was
of
the
people,
time
but
to
some
nail
people
down
may
and
find
fight
this
these things.
vehicle's inclusion like a
Sorry.
little bit difficult.
We'll pass that now.
Obviously,
It's
because it isn't
simple as-
really
It's
entirely
simple as
universally historical. But I
fucking
think
the,
overall,
do you
in
prefer
terms
this
of,
or nothing?
like making the
Yeah,
game,
pretty much.
you know, have more stuff in it, especially for people who want to play Japan in the meantime. Like it's difficult to really have too much of a problem with it, outside of that initial like very like blunt historical element, because you know it's like, would you rather Japan has nothing for quite a long time until more vehicles come, or would you rather have something to play in the meantime that doesn't really break any of the thematics? It's historically relevant.
This one should have been
very
like
much
South
was a-
Korean, man.
like
Same
a
as the
conventional
47, but this
possibility
guy's
of,
actually... Those guys
manifested,
actually
but
used the
didn't.
fucking thing.
And I think really there's not too many
Counterpoint,
negatives with
just
it.
a small
I
counterpoint
mean, there's
from my
plenty
point
of
of view.
F-16s at top tier anyway. It's not like
The
it's
one
gonna
problem I have with a
break down
vehicle
the
like this being added
and I think its
is
inclusion
now I'm
overall
going to
is
have to deal with a
better. I'd
bunch
rather
of
live in a timeline where
schizos,
this
which
is
are going
more
to
funded than not.
constantly,
Like the fucking...
yeah,
and
which
so
are going to constantly want to add
Armament is
and
not
tell me
completely
about the
finalized
things
right
they
now.
want to
It's kind of a
add to
mix
the trees
between,
now.
like the ADF and
So
the standard version. So you do
that's
have
my
both
personal
options. These
counterpoint.
may change. I think they're looking into maybe refining this a little bit.
Well, it is a plausible one, man.
Yeah,
It will
Japanese
surprise me.
F-16 AJ. Lots of discussion about this, I can imagine occurring.
I think it's fair because
Discussions?
like the F4EJ Kai, it's one of my favorite aircraft.
Here's
in
the
game.
discussion. You should have had this discussion 2 years
That
ago.
long until the
Tough
F2
shit.
comes out to have something really
I
complicated.
don't know.
I think
like,
it's not.
you know,
This or nothing, man.
yeah, it's this or nothing. Like,
for,
peace.
you know,
Oh, well, they could have added the F2.
Like
yeah, they'll add that too.
It's good for the health of the game, and it just works.
And the game's not ready for it yet. There you
Todd
go.
Howard creeping in there at the end of the sentence. You love to see it.
All right, next up we have one you have already seen at DevBlog 4, the Type 16 FPS. This is a premium version of the.
Oh shit!
I forgot about this game.
Prototype.
It's got metal chains.
Same,
It's wheels.
really everything. It's
On the wheels, yeah.
It looks quite nice.
But this
I
has
didn't notice
some cosmetic alterations, like
It's like the wolf pack.
on the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys were mentioning that there was something funny on that one because it appears that people didn't even pay attention to the wolf pack because on this one they were mentioning.
That's great.
Are the chains on the wheels gonna be a modification? New modification confirmed? Like, god damn it, man.
But they do look nice.
Like, I think in general, this is sort of like the best top tier premium you can really make. It's like a little bit different than something.
Like, they mentioned it to me and it was like, god damn, man. People really don't pay attention to shit.
You have two vehicles that do the same job.
They didn't give it the mega round,
anyway.
so it's 8-7.
I think it's a really good vehicle to just have as a premium like this.
It's a nice, uniquely cosmetic side grade that also gives you premium bonuses and allows you to have one extra vehicle in that.
I feel like they should have cared with that. Like, both solutions are alright because at least they have a lineup in both options. I feel like at this point I would have rather
further that and make Japan
just because of the lineup thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
it's nice. I mean,
I feel like at 9.0 it would also be. It would have also worked alright. Like it would have been like the 3 version. You give it the mega round, put it at 9.0.
Yeah, it's basically.
They can always add. They can always add the.
But the armor on the turrets, well, the armor in general is a bit different. It doesn't have the
yeah, like
additional armor.
it's not really an issue on it. A7, like it's still a welcome addition.
Wheeled stuff is. Wheeled premiums are really, really good in that they kind of defeat up tiers in the sense that mobility is one of the hardest things in this game to kind of counter.
Is it that you want more firepower or higher VR? That's the trade-off.
And so these kind of mobile premiums are really good to go for. Like they work much better. So it's good to see. I think it's one of the best possible premiums that could have been added at this VR. So
my guess is
happy to see it.
Yeah,
nice.
it does.
Very nice.
Next up, we have China. Starting off with the ZTS63. I'm sorry.
No optics, very sad.
Shaking my damn head.
Leaks.
Hey, the boy.
ZTS63. This is a weird vehicle.
It's
7.3.
Let's be fair, junk with quite
APFS, man.
So this is similar to the
definitely leopard material.
Advanced technology.
Has the same arrangement.
Which is not very good. As you can see, the turret rotation speed is absolutely awful with only 10 degrees per second.
Turret rotation speed, trash. Gun depression, trash. Reload, trash.
Chassis, trash.
Yeah.
Let's say a firepower.
I'm sure it's going to be great. 85mm APFS.
Interesting things, which is access to an APFS shell.
That's terrible.
That's currently 7.3.
Oh, that flat pen is bad. The angle pen is alright.
Quite dangerous at long ranges.
The thing that I'm worried about is the post-pen damage, man. Like, you know how it is with like low caliber EPFS.
This is just another M41D scenario.
In a split second, so you can make very fast, very accurate long-range shots. But not only that, you also have the option of taking out some APHs on the flanks of the enemies.
Whatever.
You also have that option of a very damaging shell once it penetrates. The APFS, yes, since it is only
your laser rangefinder,
doesn't have the best post-pen penetration damage. So, for example, you can technically go for the
pros,
Tiger,
cons, everything. Pros has a dish.
One-shot it. But with the RPG, you can get on the flanks and nuke basically.
What kills me is like this.
Nice
even if the firepower is alright, it's a lack of a stabilizer.
Yeah, lack of stabilizer and just general gun handling being really bad.
The reliable damage output from the dart is not great.
You're so weak on pretty much every area that if you can even sustain yourself in one,
it's on like a low crew, like you're on an ace crew, and that's like a.
Is it stabbed? No, I don't think it has one.
Second slewing rate, which is
fully upgraded
for a light tank is very.
It's the same gun as the other.
It's not great.
We have.
But yeah, the technology that it offers,
very
strong. I have to see how that ends up finalizing.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
This is the funny people, man. Like when they tell me about these two guys, it's like,
it's garbage. But you put it in a good spot.
This and this, like these are company people, man.
Kind of tell you shit.
Exactly.
Ultimately.
Alright, so
Mike literally works in marketing now, just to let you know.
I told you it was coming. This is the Chinese version
Strong
of the
advanced
222.
technology.
This is an earlier version, so the difference is mainly are
Just go play the
slightly weaker engine.
IKV-91 or whatever it's called, 71.
Not quite as fast, I remember.
This one is the one that they were mentioning is so
main
different than
difference
the
is gun.
German
This
one.
is the earlier version of the gun. It's the
There's
30, which fires
Yeah,
slower.
there you go. Now you're telling the
C.
truth. Now you're saying that
But
it's
it
the one.
has a
That's
20-round magazine instead of a 10-round magazine, so you have more firing time. So for this is like an anti-air, like it's a little bit better, although this version, unlike the German one, does not have the APCR round. It's
Well, I'm going to use it as a German.
so it's more dedicated as an
Yeah,
SP,
this is going to be a flank and
so
kill
not
people
quite
on the side.
as reliable as the German one. It's it deserves to be at a lower BR, but it's different, and I like that because it's the two vehicles are tangibly different from each other. They do different things well, and I like that.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, nice to see this finally in the game. This was part of the Chinese release tree back in the day, like when it was first announced. So it's nice to finally see this here.
2019, man. Like I found the picture in my phone where I initially saved up that proposal, and 2019. Shit.
Is not.
Well, there's still
means?
vehicles in the German tech tree that are still not in game yet.
You heard it
From
here first, I
2014.
suppose.
Alright, moving on, we have
Still
the
4.
Italians.
Still waiting.
Also getting a new top tier MBT. It's AMV. This sits in the tech tree just after the That's currently a slightly
Nice.
this is again a similar situation to the Challenger 2E in that it trades off the war kit that the Ariete
Oh, what a shame.
More penetration in favor of a more powerful engine. And this is a
so fast Ariete. I mean,
That's
fair enough.
Traits.
Have they moved the ammo yet?
This is still a 1500.
500 horsepower engine, which allows
No,
you to go
of
a
course
little bit
not.
faster
No,
than
ammo's
the
still in the
regular
same
Ariete.
place.
I like it. I
And
think it's
60 layouts,
having
ready to
the
roll.
side skirts on it.
It does. I mean, it does.
M60 layout, ready to roll.
Why doesn't it have
I
the
like it. It's,
machine
more
guns on the
aggressive
top?
looking, like, in
Why
that
have
way,
they
I think.
taken those away?
It's nice, yeah.
Oh, true.
Where's the
I think it's
MG3?
because this one is
That's
supposed.
what's out.
This one is supposed to be some kind of prototype, wasn't it? It's the one that the black shirts were going out.
penetration.
I think all the modern
Classic.
Arietes all have this round
They
instead
all
of
have
the,
this round, yes.
the standard one. Well, it was the previous one, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna give them to all of them. They changed the CL, the CL41.
Well, why remove the
They're gonna give the
CL? Why
53.
not keep the CL in
mobility.
and then have that as well?
Okay.
As a basic one, keep that one as a basic round, and then the other one as the upgraded one.
Another large man's. This is the standard 2C, the one you probably can remember seeing when you Google biggest tanks ever back in the day. This is in the main tree. It's after the B1 Biz
The
right now.
sport
at
version
2.7.
tank, the MG300.
I think this might be a bit high. Honestly, I mean, protection obviously is the same as the.
You know what I do find
this
hilarious?
version, nothing
How
really impressive.
Ukraine is
75
asking
millimeter
everybody
gun.
to send them
Reload is
tanks,
pretty okay,
apart from Italy.
But that's a max pen of 55 millimeters, and at 2.7,
It's not,
there are vehicles that you can't pen frontally.
You
or
can
in
keep
VR.
those.
You can
Very
keep them.
We'll see. I don't know if this is going to go down.
Thank
Imagine
you,
it probably
but
will.
no.
But I think the difficulty is that with like
Thank
a
you,
premium,
but
you can
not
kind of
really.
artificially limit the amount of vehicles that are being played, or that vehicle
And
being played.
bullets.
And as this kind of vehicle is so difficult for like new players to kill, obviously you can't have it so low, because it's just this thing can tank like
It'll just
tons
be a
of shots
donkey
and,
machine.
still be in the fight.
It'll be fun.
So it's difficult to have it.
Do you see it at
very low
2.7?
like
I don't
the,
think so, man.
the
It'll
premium version
drop.
here.
The B1
But
test is
it's
better than
more
this.
offensively limited, and I think having it at this
Like
high
all of the
BR
ones
is
in
maybe a little bit
2.7
too
are
high.
better than this thing.
It's
And
also
imagine
a
a full
little bit
upgrade, you're
lower,
gonna
it's
encounter in a
really
goddamn
make it
German
work,
with
so
this double
maybe
KV1,
change it, I don't know.
KV1L11.
But with its
3.7?
current
Yeah, the 34.
well, mobility,
Yeah,
it's the
T34.
third slowest vehicle in the game.
The
tied
105
basically with the
Sherman
premium
is this
version.
VR.
I'll have to see how that works.
Still a monster.
But,
Still
it's
started
nice to have
2.7.
it in the tree as well. I was convinced this was going to be like an
Crusader,
extra event vehicle or
Stuart.
something.
Yeah.
So having it here is really
The
nice.
fucking B1
this
there, one of the
moves as
busted
well, this is
machines around this
animated.
area.
You love
There's a
it.
lot of low tier mid tier stuff
because
that's up
also
there
the
actually.
exhaust,
This is quite
the
nice.
fumes are right
This
in
is
the
a
way of
general
your
thing.
camera, so when you accelerate, you can't see anything in front of you.
Look at that. Absolutely. So that's the HE. We can switch to the APHE here.
Boom.
Look at it spin.
Spin.
I like things that spin.
I'm very sad about one thing though. I tried putting the
It
teddy
spins.
bear that holds the heart on top of that. The teddy bear doesn't spin.
Doesn't spin.
No
Disappointing.
Very sad.
Yeah, this gun has 285 grams of explosive filler, so this is going to overpressure anything you penetrate. The sloping performance isn't too great, so if you... well, I sort of proved myself wrong there. But if you hit sloped armor, it's generally not going to be too amazing to get through. It's pretty okay against some of this early
What's that thing on the top? I'm guessing it's like an air filter kind of thing.
But if you penetrate, it's going to kill anything in one shot, basically.
A 1920s air conditioning.
But I still don't think it's really better than the premium version, just because the 155 the reload is
really
long. But
I don't think it's
not really going to have the same one-shot potential. And with a vehicle like this, that's so
it's a
like
cupola?
almost
Why is it spinning then?
Like vulnerable and huge. You need that.
I thought there's two of them, eh? Maybe he's confusing.
Well, there's one on each of the turrets, right?
We do also have the boat, Della Float,
it's a
as
viewport
well.
where the commander sits.
This is the
why is it spinning?
I think one of our
colleagues
told me how to pronounce it, and I've already forgotten.
Like trying to look at stuff.
So this is the first of the French boots coming. Not the whole tree this update, just the standard. Usually when there's a new tree, you get the introductory premiums, and the next tree comes later.
Supposed to spin
pretty standard.
It's supposed to spin faster to use the optical slot.
The French guns are actually pretty nice. If you take a look,
I love me 1920s over engineering. What the fuck?
They have a weird caliber.
They do, yeah. Like,
no way, like that.
I'm not sure I feel about that, but damage is pretty good. Here's the torpedoes. We can screenshot that if you want. But yeah, they move incredibly slowly. I won't test drive it just for time. But these are very, very, very,
10
very
rounds
slow
per minute, 12 rounds per minute. I mean, that's not that bad, actually.
Pretty good apart from that.
It's not American standard.
All right.
But it's
Moving on from France, we have Sweden with only one addition currently, the ITPS V90. This is
I get what happens if there's a bunch of slits and it spins faster. It's an optical thing. I get that. It's really stupid.
On a Leopard 2 chassis,
I'm not as surprised that idea wasn't carried forward.
Slightly more than that. This could technically be used to caps and get close and personal to enemy IFVs. Although keep in mind it does have a bit of a limited ammunition load for the APTS, very much exactly like the marksman version on the UK tech tree. So I don't quite expect this to dethrone the Falcon in terms of aggressive AA-ness. It's also a huge target, but it is a nice option for the Swedes in terms of
this will be used as an aggressive
against enemy aircraft,
just like all the other variants like this.
I was really surprised at how mobile this is. Like, I didn't realize how quick it was.
The problem for this one is the chassis. That one.
Like a lot more.
Then they're gonna be increasing its speed, and they're gonna have EVGAs without any lineups for any line. All of those lineups without the EVGA.
Mobile.
Yeah,
the turret rotation speed. That's 90 degrees a second.
Not allowed
to exist. That you have right now, which is that's hefty. that's a spinny boy. Kind of nuts.
And finally, we have a tank for Israel.
Yep. There's not a huge amount to say about this one. In terms of what it actually offers over the other versions in the tree, which has the APS,
on patrol.
Not too much. It's basically just another Macarthur that you the lineup, which is good because they didn't really have too much.
On the proposal.
This is in between the B4 and the M. I don't believe there's really much difference with the lick. Too much time to check, but it's very, very similar.
Well, it's gonna have some extra armor.
So nothing too groundbreaking. The thermals are the same. Rounds are the same. But it's just another vehicle that you have as an option really in the lineup, which is really good, as there wasn't really much before. So we have this now.
Now you have like the full lineup, eh? You have 3 of them.
Now this is all of the main vehicles.
And nothing
else.
else.
A few more we didn't quite have time to show, so I'll quickly go over them and show you as well positions on the tech tree.
Oh, here's the
this
field.
Is the German file, a new a new PT boat making its way to the German coastal line with torpedoes and twin.
It looks cool. I'm down for these ones. These machines are always my favorite.
Destroyer my ass. You see?
2 new ships.
Fucking cruiser my ass. Like, what is that shit?
With 3-inch guns.
The Terra Nova.
The HMS Whitby.
The naval crew is smart as man. Like, this is some kind of light cruiser, then it's just another fucking gunboat from West Germany.
Similar to the other Whitby class we have.
The Whitby.
The torpedoes.
Now I had the more Canadian flag as well. Do you see? The Terra Nova.
Ship. Oh, we have the Japanese one.
I have yeah, you show that.
So that thing, the Terra Nova is the
ship camouflages as well.
Oh, the other one looks like the same as the Blackpool.
So green Nihoni, you can have a bicolor spotted Nihoni or a tricolor spotted Nihoni. This is what class was this? This was a.
This is the Harashura.
Harukase or whatever.
Harukase. Shown in the US.
It's a Shan horse
unicolor
for the
like
US.
Grey, kind of mean looking, pretty nice. Have this sort of shattered pattern. Which
oh my god!
Nice as well.
What the fuck is that?
You can make so many different kind of styles with this.
Yeah, that looks awful.
And then you have the...
Atsuharu.
I guess I can scale it up a bit. There it
Did I
is.
say it reminded me of toothpaste, but it doesn't. That was just the first thing that came into my head. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, another nice one. I can show you the rest as well. Every
So they added
nation,
more
I believe,
camos.
has some new skins for their big ships.
Parizia Communa.
Kind of cool. We'll go through those very quickly. Dark blue. The Arctic Fleet, I think this is the same one as on the... it's a event vehicle ship that has this skin already, but now you can
It looks nice.
everything.
You know, I'm not
And
gonna...
there's the deforming...
It's always nice to have more
grey
camos
and white as well.
at
for
the end
this
of the
one.
day. Especially
And I
since
think,
naval ones literally
the British
haven't
ones are
had
my
like
favourite.
these types of camos
These are really nice. So
forever.
you have the brown,
That's
sort
disgusting.
of bicolor with black.
Less disgusting.
Also very nice. And this one's really nice. The Z-Force.
That's
That's
okay.
really cool.
That one's
I really
nice.
like this one.
The other ones
It's
are
just,
pretty
I don't know,
crap.
there's something about it. It looks sort of
Awful.
different and sweet.
They
I'm
depend
very,
a
very
lot on their
quick to show the
scaling.
Japanese one as well.
Yeah,
They look so
definitely.
buff.
I'm sure you're all having a lovely time looking at all of these skins right now.
The Fusto.
Standard green, multicolor,
Multicolor.
pretty nice, and then this one as well, which is also quite cool. You can make a lot of nice
Candy
little patterns
hood,
with
yeah.
it, which is pretty nice.
Gonna take it to the
Very
candy
cool.
shop.
Good stuff, good stuff.
You may also have seen this. We now have a winter version of Subversive 13 and making its way into the next update.
Nice!
It's a separate map, of course.
forgot
but
all
with
these fucking
some added
things.
wintry effects. No on the trees.
I mean, Subversive is a
much
fine
more
map.
white. Should be a nice, just
I could- it's
Yeah, it's just that
a little bit different.
It's just
They're
gonna
fucking
have
winter
that
maps,
you're
man.
used to play.
I never got used to
Now
them.
we have about 3 minutes left, so let's
Would
quickly
have
show the
preferred a
positions of the
desert
vehicles we
severs.
showed on the
How about
tech
that?
tree,
Okay.
which I will do now. Starting
We'll
off, of
have a
course, with the American ones, so you can kind of prepare already ahead of time. Usually the tech tree positions don't change, so if you are particularly looking for any specific vehicle that is coming next update, you can prepare and start your progression.
Get
towards that
ready!
direction. For the Americans, something very interesting to note with the AH6M, it is a side grade here after the UH-1B, so you do not need to research any of these
It's
further
Italian and I
helicopters.
see
All
it.
you need
They've
is
shown
the
a lot of
UH-1B,
vehicles.
then you can get yourself the AH6M. This is not to be shown yet. The F4S, of course, is a premium.
A lot of
For
mid-tier
the
stuff and a lot
Germans,
of
we have
awkward
the
stuff, which is good.
T72M
For me,
after
that's
the Kampfpanzer
positive.
70, which does allow you to make the lineup with that. The MiG-29, of course, is going to be after the MiG-23. Makes sense, after the GDR vehicle. For the USSR, the Yak-141 is going to be after the Yak-38. We'll quickly go into Reddit mode so you can see where it is.
Reddit mode.
There you go. Keep in mind, it is quite a big BR jump, quite a big rank jump, so you do need to research a lot of these middle vehicles here in order to get it. But
It's a
if you
bit
have
weird,
the Yak-38
but
and you have access to rank
seems
8,
fair.
you can immediately start your
Morning, Jack. Nice to see you.
The Czech SPAA is going to be after the BTR ZD.
So yeah, check
And
tech
Panzer,
tree on
of course, is
Suicide
going to be
Watch.
after the
Sad.
Tunguska. For
Now we
the,
only got
British tanks,
Hungary and
the Churchill is
Romania
going to be after the
to
Churchill
hold
3.
us. Hold
The
us
Challenger
hopeful.
2
Oh,
is
yeah,
going
and
to be
those guys
after
know where
the
to be
Black Knight.
seen, huh?
Yeah, know where to
I
be
guess
seen.
next
Black
time.
Knight. And the Tornado F3 is going to be after the Lightning F6, not the Tornado GR1.
They killed
This
them because
is
they
a
wanted to
fighter
tell the
version.
truth.
For Japan, the F16 will be after the F1. So you have a nice little side grade here to the F4 EJK.
Is the dev server supposed to come out today? Does anybody know?
ZTS63 will be after the ZBD86.
What are you gonna take? A BMP
The
or
RSMB
ZTS63,
will be after
Alex?
the regular
What are you
Ariete.
gonna take? What do you think?
The
63,
Char 2C will be
advanced
in the
technology.
tech tree after
Advanced
the 1B.
technology.
Advanced,
The option between the
Laser
Char
range
and a
fire.
strong
version.
technology. Yeah, very
The
strong.
Swedish Marksman will be after the
That
ZTS
BMP even has a better
just
fucking
before
missile than the
the,
standard one.
Yak.
It's got the crazy
And
missile.
the Israeli
The
Mark
Tango.
I will be right
Yeah,
after the
it has a red arrow.
B. Okay, and that is all the time that we have today.
Lord.
I hope you have enjoyed this preview of the upcoming update Sky
Pretty good preview.
Guardians. Reminder, we are planning on opening up a dev server in a few hours.
No.
If nothing happens. So if you want to participate, make sure you download the dev server ahead of time. And once it goes live, you can access it and test some of
great
these
to talk
new
about
vehicles. We hope to see you again next week for our regular streams. This has been the War for the Official channel. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.
Really
Good
good.
stream. Yeah. Very good stream. Happy with that. Can't be mad, is the way to put that. Can't be mad at what they showed there.
What was your favorite beagle? The CTS, I guess. Huh?
The SDKFC 222 Chinese version.
Nah.
Because it's slightly worse than the other one. I mean, that ZTS will probably grind out pretty early on compared to the other one. So there's that at least. The Terra Nova is a surprise. I mean, a lot of some of the naval ones just come out of nowhere. Like when it comes to what